Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we will be discussing how to write Java program to remove duplicates from an array. So let's take one example for the same. So suppose this is the one array given to us and we have to remove the duplicates from this. So after removing duplicate, how the output should look like? So our output should look like this: 1, comma 3, comma 2, comma 4, comma 5. Right, so these are the unique elements. This is what we will be doing in this video, but there is one extension to this problem statement also. If you go to lead code, you will find one problem: remove duplicates. In that, what they want you to return the count of unique elements. Basically, they want count of unique elements after removing duplicates. That is 5 here in our case, in this example, right? So in this video we will try to solve both the problem statement here, and I will be using hash set to solve this problem. There are multiple other ways also, but I want to use hash set here because previously when we were talking about most frequent element in an array, we used hash map. So I want you guys to have understanding about collections also, like how to use hash map, how to use hash set, because in interviews interviewer wants you to use something different than others. If we are not using collections, if you are not using trying to improve your code and trying to reduce the time complexity, then you are not doing any better than others. So that is why I'm trying to use hash map here. So let's write one separate method here. This method will take array as parameter, right? So as I was saying, we will be using hash set. So let's create one hash set here. I believe you guys must be aware with the headset, like what, how, when we should be using headset. So let me give you a brief about headset here. So headsets are basically used when we are storing only unique values. Headset cannot have duplicate values, right? So this is a brief about headset, and throughout our program we will discuss how to use headset to solve this one specific program here. So let's create headset. This is headset initialized with the null. Now we will iterate through our array, right? Int n array. So we will put one condition here. So this is the most important step about this program here. So as I was saying that set has different methods. So one of them is has set dot content. So set dot contents I will use here, and I will check whether my set contains this element or not. Basically, this element is what? This element is the element which is getting read from the array during a specific iteration. So for the first iteration, this value will be having 1. Next iteration, it will be having 3, and so on up to value 5. So it will check for each iteration whether this value is present in our set or not, right? So what if this value is not present in set, right? So we want to execute some statements which should be executed only if our hash set does not contain this value. And how we go inside this using if condition? So we use negation here. So basically, if you look at this, when set dot contains dot n return false, that basically that means set does not contains element n, then false it will return, and false negation of false will become true. Hence it will go inside the if loop, and that is what we want. So that is why I have used negation here. So now what I will do, I will add this element to n because it was false here, because it was not present in the set. So I will add it here. And now basically we will also update this existing array. And how we will do it? we will try to push unique elements to the left side and update the values accordingly. Basically, try to put unique elements from the left side. So first unique element will be present on the zeroth index, and then at the first index, then second index. So if all elements are unique, then they will be uh, placed accordingly. If suppose out of this given array has size 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so this has 7 elements. Out of this, as we can see, only 5 are unique. So these 5 positions, 1 2 3 4 5, up to here, we will be trying to insert only unique elements, and these remaining positions will be filled accordingly, or we will not worry about that. So that approach we will follow here. And how can we do this? So array of, so suppose in first iteration we want to update value, right? This is our unique because this is not contained in set. So we want to update it here. What is n? But if you look at this guy, this is one static value I'm using here, 0. But what will happen if I have to update the value present at the first index or second index, right? Because we there might be chances that there might be multiple unique values can be there, as in our example. So we can update array of 0 here. If we are updating array of 0 every time, then this index value only will be updated for each iteration. So first time it will have 1, then 3, then 2, then 4, then 5, and only one element, one index element would be updated, remaining would won't change. But that then we cannot have the our desired output. So that is why I'm using one variable instead of static number constant here. Earlier I was using constant 0, right? Now I have used one j variable initialized with value 0. So what it will do, it will check. Let's just do the dry run here. So start with the first iteration. So first iteration n will have value 1. It will go here. It will check whether this value is contained in set or not. It will find out false. False or negation of false becomes true. Hence it will go inside here. It will insert value 1 in the set, right? Now what j's value is 0 already, right, in the beginning. So array of 0 will become 1, and it initially also it was 1. So our array would look like 1 3 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 4 comma 5, right? Now we will increment the j plus plus, because next time we want to, now we have received one unique element, now we want to go to the next one. If this one is found after this any index, we will skip that one, because this condition will become true, and negation of true will become false, and it will these statements will not execute, right? So up to here is clear. Let's proceed further. So this will happen now for each iteration. So let's take one example of next iteration. So now 3 is there. It will go and check whether 3 is contained. It is not contained. Hence it will go there and it will add value 3 here. And it will update here 3. For the 2, same thing will happen. Now let's discuss about this case. So it will have this fourth iteration. This fourth iteration will make n to carry value 3. Now when it checks that set dot contains n, yes, true, because 3 is already there, right? So 3 is there, true, negation of true becomes false. Hence this statement will not be executed. So what will happen here? Array of, so j value previous to this would be 3, because we have put 0 1 2, basically 2, yeah. So j's value would be 2 up to here. So j's value won't change, it will again be having 2. Now our array would look like this only. Now in the next iteration, when the 4 value comes, it will go and check whether 3, whether 4 is present in set or not. It is not, hence it will be updated to the added to set. And now j's value was incremented to 3, 0 1 2 3 after this, right? So array of 3 will take the value 4, and it will be updated here. So let me rewrite it to j. So basically this will, our array will look like this. After this again 4 will come. J's value is what? Now j's value is 3 already. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now this value is coming. This is already contained here. So these statements will not execute and array will keep on looking like this. Now again when this element is coming, so it will go and check whether this 5 is present in set or not. It is not present, hence it will add it to the set. Now j's value was 3. Sorry, after increment it would have been 4. So I wrote it wrongly. Sorry guys. So after 4, now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it will update the value 5 because array of 4 become will take the value 5. Right, so our output array, but now we have already exhausted all the elements from an array. So our output array will look like this, but we don't want output like this, guys, right? We want our desired output to look like this. So let's discuss the one part of this problem statement where we wanted to find the count of unique elements, right? So uh, after all the iterations, if we print the value of I, sorry, j, I have not used anywhere, this will basically be having value 5 after all iterations. So this will basically give us the count of unique elements in array, right? And we want only unique element in our output also, right? So instead of printing whole array, what we will do, we will use one for loop in I equal to 0, I is less than j. So please concentrate here, guys. So if you look at this condition here, I am not using array dot length. Basically I am not using, I don't want to print all the elements of this array, this final updated array. I only want up to here, right? Only want 5 elements, basically up to the fourth index. That is why, and we know that our j is already having that count, like up to where I want the elements from that array. So that is why I've used j as the maximum limit up to where it should go. So what it will do, it will print zero, it will give zeroth index, first index, third index, fourth index, right? And sorry, zeroth index, first index, second index, third index, and fourth index, and then for loop will exit. So if we print this directly, I, array of I, and here let me give one space, and here say unique elements after removing duplicates. So basically here if you look at the initial array, within the 5 starting positions there was one duplicate, right? But we have removed that. Now let's print this one and let's run how it looks like. So I'm calling this method here. So guys, I suggest you guys, before running the code actually in the IDE, try to dry run during writing only on Notepad or any online compiler. Because in interviews, sometimes what happens, they don't let you debug on IDE, right? And you sometimes if you miss at some place any statement, then through dry run you can debug that even without running and even without placing the breakpoints. So that is why the dry run which I have done here, the same way you can also try. That will be very helpful for you guys to so that you don't get stuck in interviews if you are missing some statement, and while debugging it will become very easier for you. So let's run it. So see guys, count is coming 5. This is what we wanted. Unique elements after removing the duplicate, this is what we wanted, right? Now let's take one example of 0 comma. So I've added one more element here. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, so count has been changed now because now our output would be something like this because 0 is also unique, right? So this is why you can see count is 6, right? So please try to run it for different test cases because sometimes what happens, we write code which works for most of the cases but it can break for some of the corner cases or some of the extreme case test cases. So always try to write a code which works for all the test cases, even for the corner cases, negative cases, positive cases. So this is my suggestion to you guys. Thank you so much. All the best.